स्मृतापि तरुणातपं करुणया हरन्तीं नृणाम् अभङ्गुरतनुत्वषां पलयिता शतैर्विद्युतां कलिन्दगिरिनन्दिनी तटसुरद्रुमालम्बिनी मदीयमतिशुम्बिनी भवतु कापि कादम्बिनी. Yeah, we're looking at the Madhyama Kavya Lakshanam and Udaharanam. We still have one or two points to make and then we can move on to the next category. So, Yatra Vyangya Chamatkara Asamanadhikaranaha Vachya Chamatkaraha Tat Tritiyam. So, wherever the Vachya Chamatkara is not on the same level as the Vyangya Chamatkara, that is the Vyangya Chamatkara Kinchit Leshataha Bhasate. So, there is a little bit of Nyunata in the Vyangya Chamatkaraha. Then it is the third type. So he gave this big Gadya portion as an example. And Atra in this Tanaya Mainaka Gaveshana Lambi Krita Jaladhi Jathara Pravesha Himagiri Bhujayamanayaha Bhagavatyaha Bhagiratyaha Sakhi Yamuna iti Gadya Bhagaha Tatra Atra Utpreksha Vachya Eva Chamatkriti Hetuhu. So the Utpreksha has more beauty, wherein Himavat Parvata is extending his hand to search Patala Paryantam Tatra Mainakaha Vartatevanava iti Anveshanam Karoti. This image is much more beautiful than Ganga is white like Himalayas. Tatra Aupamyam tu Tadrisha Chamatkara Avaham Nasti. So it is as white as the Himavat Parvata or Ganga touches the Patalam, iti Vastudhvani. These are all not as beautiful as the Utpreksha of Himavat Parvata searching for it. So the example here he gives, Rasagangadhara says, Nagarika Itara Naika Kalpita Kashmiradrava Angaraganigirnaha Nija Anga Gaurima Iva. Nija Anga Gaurima, a woman whose natural beauty is completely submerged by all the artificial makeups that she puts. In that manner, this Vyangya Chamatkara is completely submerged by the Vachya Chamatkara. Okay. I think we stopped till that. Na tadrishaha asti kopi vachyarthaha yaha manak anamrishta pratiyamanaha eva swataha ramaniyatam adhatum prabhavati. Tadrishaha vachyarthaha na kopi vidyate. So vachyarthaha, there is no vachyartha which is not touched by Vyangyartha, which means every vachyartha that you find, every sentence or every kavyam which is capable of giving you a meaning, that meaning naturally has a Vyangyartha also. That you can't deny. According to, this is the stance of Jagannatha Pandita, wherein he says, there will be some sort of a Vyangyartha in every shloka. But then what, if it is too contrived, then it doesn't have a charutvam there. That is all we can say. So, na tadrishaha kopi vachyartaha tadrishaha na vidyate yaha manak anamrishta pratiyamanaha eva. Anamrishta pratiyamanaha. Asprishta Vyangyaha, without having a Vyangyartha along with it. That is, without having even a trace of Vyangyartha. Anamrishta Asprishta Vyangyaha. Vyangya Sambandha Shunyaha na Vidyate. So there is a double negative here. Okay. Swataha Ramaniyatam Adhatum Prabhavati. It is not possible for it, for a Vachyartha to bring on a Ramaniyata. Adhatum na prabhavati, without the Vyangyartha. Is it clear? So, anayoho eva dvitiya tritiya bhedayoho jagaruka ajagaruka gunibhuta vyangyayoho pravishtham nikhilam alankara pradhanam. So, this is where he says, he makes a distinction. See, we have this entire text of Kuvalyananda with some, let's say 300 alankaras or even 150 alankaras. If you leave out all the Rasavat alankaras and Preyas, Urjasvi, all. So you have a set of alankaras here, which we want to know whether it is in the category of Uttama Kavya or Madhyama Kavya or Adhama Kavya. Or Uttamottama Kavya, something. No, we need, there are 4 categories till now that Paṇḍitarāja has given us. And in all those 4 categories, where do these two fit in? These alankaras fit in. So he makes a distinction but with just very simply, he says Jagaruka, Ajagaruka, Gunibhuta, Vyangyam. So the Vyangya is Gunibhutam. In these alankaras, most of the times you have the Vyangyam as Gunibhutam. If the Vyangya is Pradhanam, then there is no question about it and it becomes an Uttamottama Kavyam, wherein the Alankara is Vachyam, then there you have another Vyangya Artha, which again, then you will have a Rasadhvani also there or a Bhavadhvani. Either way. So the first category of Uttamottama Kavyam is removed from your discussion here. Dvitiya and Tritiya. That is the Uttama Kavyam or the Tritiya would be our Madhyama Kavyam. We have to fit the Alankaras into these two. Most of the Alankaras will come into these two categories depending on the weight of the Vyangyartha. So whether the Vyangyartha is Jagarukam, it is completely shining forth. Jagaruka is Savadhanataya tatra asmakam avadhanam tu tatra Vyangyarthe vartate chet tarhi tatra dvitiya category, dvitiya bhede tatra antarbhavitum shaknumah. Is that clear? So that is in Raghava, Viraha, etc. How is that Vyangyartha? If the Vyangyartha is much more beautiful, that is our Tulanatmakam category, right? So Dvitiya, Tritiya, Bhedayoho, Pravishtam, Nikhilam, Alankara Pradhanam, Kavyam. Alankara Pradhanam, Kavyam, Yatra Vidyate. Whatever shlokas you have, where the Alankara is important, then you have to decide whether the Vyangyartha is Pradhanam, Jagarukam, or if the Vyangyartha is Ajagaruka. It is Gunibhutam. It is not as beautiful as the Vachyartha. That is clear, because if it was more beautiful than the Vachyartha, then we would push it into the Uttamottama category. Now we have this Vyangyartha and the Vachyartha. In some cases, the Vyangyartha is as beautiful as the Vachyartha, like Raghava Viraha, etc. In that case, then we'll have to put it in the Dvitiya category, which is the Uttama Kavyam. If it is not a Jagarukam, Gunibhuta Vyangyameva, Kintu Ajagarukam, ityukte asputam, it is not as clear like this Shvaityam or the Patala Chumbitvam. These are the Vyangyartha that is not as clear as our Raghava Viraha. So then, or as beautiful as that, then we have to put those Alankaras within the category of Madhyama Kavyam. That is all he says. Jagannatha Pandita does not go further into which Alankaras go into which category, etc. So in this we will read the Vyakhyanam a little bit, because the Samasokti and Deepaka Alankara are the main things where we have a doubt as to where we have to put these Alankaras. Okay. So atra Jagarukaha Raghava Viraha ityadau iva Chamatkara Vishesha Adhayakataya. If there is a Chamatkara, like in the Raghava Viraha Shlokam, that is Jagarukam. Jagarukam is always you are alert. So if the Vyangyartha is alert and saying, flashing and saying, listen, I'm there, then there is, you have to put it in the Uttama Kavyam. Charvana Gocharaha. It comes within the range of Charvana. Anubhava Gocharaha Bhavati. Gunibhutaha, but then it is also Gunibhutam. Yataha tatra Vachyartha Upapadakatvena Apradhani Bhutaha. It is not as important when you look at the Vachyartham. This is even more beautiful. So the Vyangyartha becomes a little bit Apradhanam when compared to the Vachyartha. So Yatra Evam Jagarukata Vartate Vyangyarthasya. That is one section. The next is Ajagaruka. What is Ajagaruka? Tatha Ajagarukaha cha Tanayamainaka ityado Chamatkara Vishesha Anadhayakataya. In this Tanayamainaka, etc., the Vyangyartha does not give you so much of Chamatkara. Chamatkara Vishesham na dadhati. It does not bear a Chamatkaratvam. So Charvana agocharaha gunibhutaha. As it is gunibhutam, apradhanameva sat, charvana gocharaha na vidyate, that you do not have the perception of that anubhava. It doesn't give you so much of pleasure as it gave, Sita drishta iti karanat tatra ramasya viraha jataha. So viraha tapastu nasti. That sort of a beauty is not present in this. Oh, Ganga is as white as Himawat Parvatam, or Ganga is touching the Patalam. This sort of a Vyangyartha is not Charvana Gochara. Charvana is Anubhavam. We don't have so much of enjoyment from this Vyangyartha. So Vachyartha Apekshaya Apradhani Bhutaha. These are all common to both. Whether it is Uttama Kavyam or Madhyama Kavyam, both is Guni Bhutaha eva Vyangyarthaha. Vachyartha Apekshaya Apradhani Bhutaha eva. Kintu Charvana Gocharaha Vartate va athava na. That is the only difference that we have to look at. So Itham Alankaraha Chamatkaritaya Pradhanam Yatra Tad Alankara Pradhanam. So wherever there is Alankaram comes forth and shines very beautifully, then that Kavyam is called Alankara Pradhanam Kavyam. In this, idamuchyate samasokti prabhatitishu alankareshu vyangyasya guni bhave api. Now, what is the example for samasokti alankara? Samasokti alankara is ayam aindri mukham pasya raktas chumbati chandramaha. Ayam aindri mukham pasya raktas chumbati chandramaha. Atra prastuta vrittantataya chandrodayasya varnanam kavyehe abhishtam. So prastutam is our chandrodaya varnanam. But then the way he is describing, he alludes to a naika nayaka bhava. Ayam aindri mukham pasya. Aindri, it is strilinga padam tatra. So when aindri na indra sambandhi dik. Dik is the direction. So the direction is usually in strilingam. So, Aindri Mukham Mityukte, the direction which is with respect to Indra, or you are talking about the Prachi Dika, eastern direction, where Chandrodaya is happening now. Chandraha iti Pullinga Padam. So, the way he describes is, I am Aindri Mukham Pashya. Pashya, I am Aindri Mukham Pashya. Look at the Aindri Mukham. I am Raktaha Chandramaha Chumbati. So, Raktaha Chandramaha I am Aindri Mukham Chumbati Pashya. So he is actually touching, but then the word he uses is Chumbati, kisses. You immediately, because of the Pullinga Padam and the Strilinga word for Dik, it seems as if the Nayaka who is describing the Chandrodaya is trying to tell the Nayika who is beside her, beside him, that, I have this desire to kiss you. So, Raktas Chumbati Chandramaha iti prakriti varnanena tatra swayam swasya abhipraya garbham vartate tatra. So, it is his abhipraya, his opinion that he wants to show to the Nayika also. That becomes the aprastutam. It is the aprastutam. So, prastute sati aprastutasya parispurtihi eva samasokti. So, samasokti alankara depends on the vyangya here. The vyangya is not pradhanam, because if the Nayaka directly tells the Nayika that, that is not his intention. His intention may be that, the tatparyam may be that, but then he does not want to directly say it. If you directly say it, then the charm is lost. We're talking about those days. Today, it is like direct approach is only the perfect method. No, that is different. So in those days, it is the Tamil solo Yelamaravu Kai Maravu and the Yelamaravu Kai Maravu solradha osati. No direct expression is not needed. Yelamaravu Kai Maravu. I have to explain this in English. See, usually when the fruit that is actually hidden underneath leaves is supposed to be more sweet. The fruit that is just open on the tree is not, you always want to think that the other sweet, the mango which is hidden is more sweet, or it's just half shown. That's what we say. Very similar examples that Alankarikas also use in other contexts. So here, I am Raktavarnaha Chandramaha, whereas Raktaha iti Anuraga Yuktaha. Each of those Visheshanas have double meaning there, and the intention or the Vyangyartha is something different. Now, the Vyangyartha is Guni Bhutaha, because the context here is, Prastutam here is Chandrodaya. And that Chandrodaya is more beautiful because of the fact that it has the capability of revealing the intention of the speaker. So it is even more beautiful than the Vyangyartha. At the same time, the Vyangyartha is also beautiful because he has the capability of alluding to that Vyangyartha, and that Vyangyartha also stands separately, giving the Nayika also a nice impression about the Nayika, in the sense that he is trying to convey in a manner that he is not direct also. So it's a way where it's an expression where both the Vachyartha and the Vyangyartha have a higher beauty when compared to, say, our regular Upama Alankara or Rupaka Alankara. Right? These have a higher stance than other Alankaras. So this is Samasokti. So Samasokti Prabhritishu Alankareshu Vyangyasya Guni Bhave Api, even though the Vyangyartha has an Apradhanatvam, it is Guni Bhava, still Chamatkaritaya Tat Pradhanaka Kavyasya Dvitiya Bhede Antarbhavaha. So Chamatkaritaya, because that Vyangyartha also has so much of beauty in it, that is why we have to put it in the category of the second Bhedam, which is Uttama Kavya. Whereas Deepakadishu Alankareshu Upamadi Vyangyasya tu Tadabhavat Tatpradhana Kavyasya Tritiya Bhede Antarbhavaha. Now this second category of Alankaras like Deepaka, even Apannuti, which are all Upama based Alankaras or Rupaka based Alankaras. So what does that mean? If it is based on Rupakam or based on Upama, you start off with Upama in your mind, but you are not expressing Upama on hand. You are not directly saying this person is like this person. Hamsi iva Krishna te kirtihi swargangam avagahate itivat tatra vachaka shabdaha na upayujyante. Right? So the expression is very different. So how do you express it? In Deepaka Alankara, Madena Bhati Kalabaha, Pratapena Mahipatihi. So Gajaha Madena Bhati, Pratapena Raja Shobhate. These are the two expressions that you are giving. Deepaka Alankara, the definition of Deepaka Alankara is Vadanti Varnya Avarnyanam Dharmaikyam Deepakam Buddhaha. So Buddhaha, great people, Vadanti, they talk about Deepaka Alankara as Dharma Aikyam. There is a Samana Dharma. So Samana Dharma means there is a background of Upama in this Alankara. So Dharma Aikyam Vartate. Varnya Avarnyanam. One is Varnyam, which is Prastutam, that we have to, that we are, that is the context that we are describing. Varnya. Avarnya, something that is not the context that we have to describe. Okay. Take Upama and this the Deepakam side by side. Now, in Upama Alankara, Hamsiva Krishna te Kirtihi. So Kirtihi Hamsi Iva Vartate. So your fame is like a white swan. Okay, so that is the plain example. Now, in the same manner, I want to say that the elephant. Oh, elephant is so beautiful, like how a king usually shines with his valor. That's what we want to express. But instead of expressing it in this manner, instead of saying Rajnyaha Pratapa Iva Gajasya Madaha Vartate, iti, instead of using that sort of an expression, I'm saying Madena Bhati Kalabaha. Kalabhaha Gajaha Madena Bhati Pratapena Mahipatihi Bhanam or Prakashanam Eva Tatra Samanya Dharmaha. The Dharma Aikyam there is Bhanam or Prakashaha, and each one shines because of a different thing. So the comparison here is underlying but the expression is there is a varnya portion, there is an avarnya portion. My context is I am looking at a beautiful elephant, handsome elephant, and I am describing that this elephant is young and it is shining because of mada. Madena bhati kalabaha. My non-context is Raja. Pratapena mahipatihi. I am always used to describe, let's say, you have to think of a situation like that, no? The Kavi has, usually he stands in the court and describes the king always. Now he has come to the king's courtyard where the elephants are all standing. And the king is probably showing off that these are the new elephants that I have bought. Then imagine, the Kavi is saying, Gaje Madena Bhati Kalabaha Pratapena Mahipatihi. Tari Tatra Varnyaha tu Gajaha Vartate. Avarnyaha Raja. That's the context in Kovalayananda. So you have to create a story there. Right? So this is Deepaka Alankara. But what is the base here? Upama is your base. So Upamadi Rupaka Vyangyasya. If he is just going to say, oh, this elephant is like you, then it falls flat. It is not as beautiful as the Vachyartha of Deepaka Alankara. Now, even within the Alankaras, you have this sort of a distinction wherein the Vyangyartha can be beautiful. At the same time, it is Apradhanam, or the Vyangyartha is not as beautiful and still it is Apradhanam, but it is not as beautiful as the Vachyartha. So, divide your Alankaras into two categories and put it either in the Uttama Kavyam or in the Madhyama Kavyam. Is that clear? So, Anayoho eva Dvitiya Tritiya Bhedayoho Pravishtam into these. So, this is in Saptami Vibhakti here. So, into the second and the third category, wherein the Vyangyartha, Gunibhuta Vyangyaha, Jagarukataya Vartate, Athava Ajagarukataya Vartate. So, Jagaruka, Ajagaruka, Gunibhuta Vyangyayoho. You have to take it in this manner. Dvitiya Bhede, Jagaruka, Gunibhuta Vyangyaha. Tritiya Bhede, Ajagaruka, Gunibhuta Vyangye. Pravishtam Nikhilam Alankara Pradhanam. The entire Alankara section has completely gone into these two categories. Okay. Now he moves on to the fourth category. Any doubts till now?
Ji, in this Jagaruka, can I equate that term to Chamatkara?
Yeah, Chamatkara, Chamatkaram, yes.
Okay.
Ama. Sputa Chamatkaran vechukongale. And the other one actually, Chamatkara Vishesham, என்னன்னா வியங்கியார்த்தத்துக்கு அட்ஜெக்டிவா வருது ஜாகரூகம்ங்கிறது. அதனால நான் கொஞ்சம் கன்ஃபியூஸ் பண்றேன். எங்கு வியங்கியார்த்தமானது சமத்காரத்தை கொண்டதாக இருக்கும் தானே சொல்ல முடியும். சமத்காரமாக இருக்குங்கிறது அப்படி வரணும். அதுக்காக சொல்றேன். சோ ஜாகரூகான பளிச்சுன்னு தெரியறதுன்னு அர்த்தம். சோ சமத்காரத்துவம் எத்திர பிரகாசகதையா வர்த்ததே அப்படி எடுத்துக்கணும் இல்லையா? ஓகே, மேல போலாமா? So yatrartha chamatkriti upaskrita shabda chamatkritihi pradhanam tad adhamam chaturtham. So yatra artha chamatkriti upaskrita shabda chamatkritihi pradhanam shabdasya chamatkaraha eva tatra pradhanataya vartate. So wherever there is an importance to the word play, artha chamatkriti upaskrita, the artha helps the chamatkara of words. Now, the meaning, there are words and then you have a meaning. The meaning only, even if the meaning is there, that meaning becomes upaskara. Upaskara nalu guni bhavaha apradhanaha. All three words have the same meaning. Upaskritihi or upaskaraha, guni bhavaha and apradhanaha. So all three are the same. So artha chamatkriti, the beauty of the artha, normal vachyartha we are talking about. We are not even going into vyangyartha here. So this artha is not vyangyartha. It is the vachyartha itself. At the beginning we are looking at a shlokam. We are more enamored by the word arrangement, the letters that are there, the alliterations that are there, the shabdalankaras that are present. Then we go into the vachyartha. Now, when we look at the vachyartha, we understand the meaning of the words, but again still come back and say, oh, the words are very beautiful here. It is arranged very beautifully. So, shabda chamatkritihi eva tatra pradhanyam vahati. Tad adhamam chaturtham kavyam. So, this is the fourth category that he says. So, the example he gives here is mitratri putra netraya त्रयीशात्रवशत्रवे गोत्रारि गोत्रचत्राय गोत्रात्रे ते नमो नमः. गोत्रात्रे te namaha, namo namaha. Namaskaram to the person who protects the go. So goho prithivyaha gavam dhenunam va tratre trata. Yaha tranam karoti, rakshanam karoti, rakshakaha. So rakshakaya. So one who protects the bhumi or one who protects the cows in Vrindavanam. So it is Krishna or Vishnu. It can go to both here. So gavam dhenunam trata athava goho prithivyaha trata. So one who protects the prithvi or one who protects the go dhenu also means the pashu. When you say pashu in Shaiva Siddhanta, pashu is all of the jivas are pashu only. So it can also be a jiva trata iti. So gotratre te namo namaha. Every other chaturthi vibhakti is an adjective to this gotratre. Mitra atri putra netraya. Netram. He has an eye which is both, he has two eyes. Vishnu has two eyes. One is Mitra, which is Suryaha. Atri putra, atrehe putraha eva chandraha. So Chandra Surya ucha netre. Irkaliya in Vishnu Sahasranamam. So the same way he is also Chandra Surya ucha netre. That's all. So Mitra atri putra, Suryaha cha Chandraha cha tasya netre. His both his eyes are, one is Surya and one is Chandra. Trayi shatrava shatrave. Trayi is Rig Yaju Samaveda. Trayi Vedanam, Veda Trayanam, Shatrava. Shatravaha is usually Ripu Samuham. So Shatravaha, Shatru is Ripu. Shatrava is Ripu Samuham, which is the Asuras. Asuras are completely against the Vedas. That is, they are the enemies of the Vedas. So Vedanam Shatru Kulasya Shatruhu Sayeva. So, which is Bhagavan again. He has killed all of the Asuras who have tried to destroy the Vedas. So, Hayagriva took on the Vedas from Brahma when he was yawning, right? So, Hayagriva Daityasya Shatrave Nashakaya. He is also a person who killed Hayagriva or Hiranyaksha. Both, sometimes they say Hayagriva is the same as Hiranyaksha. Some Puranas give both of them as different. This Hayagriva is not our Hayagriva who is Heshar, our Vedanta Deshika's group, that Vishnu's avataram Hayagriva iti nasti. Atra Hayagriva iti kaschana asuraha, daityaha. Okay. So, Trayi Shatrava Shatrave. In general, Asuras are also against following the Vedas, Veda Pantha. They don't Veda Margam. So, the Asuras, Vishnu is the Shatru or the enemy of all the Asuras. So, Trayi Shatrava Shatrave. Gotrari Gotraja Traya. This is Devanam Rakshakaha. Asuranam Nashakaha. So, Devanam Rakshakaha. Now if you want, you can extend it to the fact that Suryaha cha Chandramaha cha tasya dve netre. Then in one he provides, being Surya, he destroys all the darkness, which is Asura. So Asura Nashakaha, first one. Then the other eye is the moon, which gives coolness. That is, he protects the Devas. This is what he wants to say with the other two adjectives. Gotra Ari Gotra is Kula Parvatanaha. So Parvatanam, Gotranam, Ari, enemy, which is Indra. Pakshachchedanat Arehe Indrasya. Indra cut down all the wings of the mountains. So Indra is supposed to be the enemy of the mountains. So Gotrarihi Indraha. Tasya Gotrajaha. Tasya Vamshyaha. Those who were all born in the lineage of Indra, which is the entire host of the Devas. Tanatra Trayati. So he protects all of them. Devan Trayate iti Rakshati iti Gotraja Traya. One who protects the Devas. The meaning is so simple here. Nothing much. That is one who has both Surya and Chandra as his eyes. One who is the destroyer of all the Asuras and protector of all the Devas. The other who is also a protector of this Prithivi. I bow to him. Simple shloka. Shiva Paksheva. Shiva Pakshetu Traya Dvamsana.
இது வந்து ரெண்டுத்துக்கும் வரும், ரெண்டு பேருக்கும் வரும். இது
வருதா? இதுலயும் போட்டிருக்காளா உங்களுக்கு? அத பார்க்கலையே. Okay, so Shiva Pakshetu Traya Dvamsanat Shatravanam Asuranam Traya Vijnana Pratibandhanat Shatravasya Kamadevasya Shatrave. Okay. One who Trayi Shatrava is Kamadeva, which is with the moment Kamadeva enters our mind, we are not thinking about Veda. So he is the enemy, he is an obstacle for Vijnanam. Kamadeva becomes an obstacle for the Vijnanam that arises out of Vedas. So Trayi Shatravaha tu Kamahatra. Tasya Shatrave. Kama Dahanat Shivaha eva, he becomes the enemy of Kama. Yeah. Adu onnu. Of course, Mitrari Putra Netraya is fits for Shiva also. The middle one is Agni Netra. And then Go Vrishasya Trata. So Gauhu iti Vrishabha Vahanaha Saha. So he takes on the Vahanam of Vrishabha. So he protects the kulam of all. And as I said, Pashupatihi iti Pashunameva Saha Patihi iti Karanat Gauhu Gavam Trata Pashunam Jivanam Trata iti. You can take it as that. Yeah. Oh, okay. So, iha vrityanuprasatmaka shabdalankara prayojyaha chamatkaraha eva kavi sambrambha gocharataya pradhanam. In this shloka, vritti anuprasa, there is a repetition of tra, right? Gotra, iti, there is a repetition of that also. Shabdalankara prayojyaha. Shabdalankaram gives more chamatkaram here. So, Kavi Sambrambha Gocharataya means the Kavi seems to have an interest or a Sambrambha. That is, he has an outsukyam, eagerness to show his expertise in using Vrityanuprasa. His mind is not in the Artha Chamatkaram. Right? So, Vachyartha Pratiti Janma Bhagavad Vishayaka Vaktrinishta Rati Bhavadi Vyangya Pratiti Janmava Leshataha Sannapi. So, but it also shows us that he likes Shiva or Vishnu in the same manner, and that Bhagavad Vishayaka Rati, which is present in the person who says this shloka, Leshataha Sanna, it is just present in a very simple manner. Namo Namaha iti uktatvat tatra prayaha tasya manasi Bhagavad Vishayaka Ratihi vartate iti karanat sa evam stauti iti. Right? So chamatkaraha asputatvat, but that sort of a rati is not evident here. The one that is more sputam is the Shabdalankara, the way he uses tra so beautifully. So this becomes Angata. The Vyangyam is completely Linaha Bhavati. It completely merges with the Shabdalankara and Angatameva Bhajate. It is only a subsidiary, incidental thing that comes up. That's all. Okay. So, Atra Artha Chamatkritihi Shabda Chamatkritau Lina. the Vachyartha, the beauty in the Vachyartha is completely submerged by the Shabda Jalam that is there. Yadyapi Yatra Artha Chamatkriti Samanya Shunya Shabda Chamatkritihi Tat Panchamam Adhamadhamam Api Kavya Vidhasu Ganayatum Uchitam Yatha Ekakshara Padya Ardhavritti Yamaka Padma Bandhadi. Is this a continuation? Tathapi. Okay. So, even though now there can be some type of shlokas which Mahakavyas have given, Mahakavis have given, there can be a shloka where there is no Artha Chamatkriti at all. There is no beauty to the meaning at all. That is Artha Chamatkriti Samanya Shunya. Samanyam is in totality, there is no beauty in Artham at all. Shabda Chamatkritihi Tatha Vartate. There is a beauty in the use of the words, letters, etc., where the Artham completely is not at all present, or the Artha Chamatkriti is not present. There is no beauty in the Vachyartha at all. Tat Panchamam Adhamadhamam Api. There is a fifth category called Adhamadhama, where we can find this in Kavya Vidhasu Ganayitum Uchitam. It is appropriate to count that there is a fifth category in the different poetry that people have written. We find that in Magha Kavi or Bharavi, Naishadhakara, maybe not Naishadhakara, but definitely in Magha and Bharavi, we find many of these. Probably it is there in Naishadhakara also. I've not, nobody mentions him much, but I'm saying, Yatha, what are those categories? What are those type of shlokas? Ekakshara, Padya Ardha Avritti, Yamaka, Padma Bandhadi. These are some kinds of shlokas. Padma Bandha, etc. is very easy in the sense you will find certain texts which have these pictures of Padma or Chakram, Sarpa, ityadi. It is followed by composers in kritis also. Like Tyagaraja Yoga Vaibhavam, there is a Dikshatar Kriti where he will go remove one letter one by one. He will remove the letters, and it is like on the Gopucham. So Tyagaraja Yoga Vaibhavam. Huh?
I was about to say Gopucham.
Correct. Gopucham Madri, it comes out. Tyagaraja Yoga Vaibhavam, Agaraja Yoga Vaibhavam, Raja Yoga Vaibhavam, Yoga Vaibhavam, Vaibhavam, Bhavam, Vam. Avadin Mudipar. So that's how the people sing that Kriti also. So these are all just Chamatkriti. Nothing much in the Artha Chamatkriti there, only Shabda Chamatkriti. Padma Bandha is very similar. You write a shloka wherein the shloka itself can be put in a Padma. If you look at Paduka Sahasram, you will find this kind of things, pictures at the end of Paduka Sahasram also. So Ma Rama, adu eppadina inge irundhu vandu ipdi thirupiyum you come back to the same letter. You start with Ma, then go to Ra, then come to Ma. Then Susha Ma, you come back to that Ma. So in the center you will have only Ma. All of the other letters will be like petals coming into that. So this is how the shloka is. This is one Padma Bandha. Then Ekakshara Anuprasa. This is an example from Shishupala Vadha. There is another example from Bharavi's Kirata Arjuniyam with the Nakara, Nanono Nunna iti. The next one is Padya Ardha Avritti. Padya Ardha Avritti. Two padas will be repeated in the second two padas. So the whole shloka is looking the same. Ayasho Bhidura Loke Kopadha Maranadrite. Ayasho Bhidura Loke Kopadha Maranadrite. But the meaning will be different. He just repeats the first line with the second line. So Padya Ardha Avritti. This is called Samudga. This is there in Shishupala Vadham again. Yamaka. Yamaka is common, much more common than these three, Ekakshara or Samudgaka or Padma Bandha. You will find Yamakam very commonly being used. Even Apagamiva iti Champuravayane Vartate. So these are all some of the examples. These can be counted as Panchamam or Adhamadhamam Kavyam. You can't say Apagam Iva as the fifth category. I'm just giving an example of Yamaka, that's all. You can have such Yamakas which do not have any Artha Chamatkriti, but you only focus on the Shabdas there. Okay. Tathapi, even though there are some, you can bring out a category like this, Panchama Prakaraha Prayaha Ganyate. Kintu, I do not consider that as a kavyam at all. He takes a stance here. Raghunatha Pandita, Jagannatha Pandita takes a stance here and says, Tathapi Ramaniyartha Pratipadaka Shabdata Rupa Kavya Samanya Lakshana Anakrantataya. See, my definition of kavyam itself is Ramaniya Artha Pratipadaka Shabdata. Is kavyatvam. Kavya samanya lakshanam. What is the kavya samanya lakshanam? What is the lakshanam that I have taken? Which Jagannatha Pandita, for him, it should be a shabda which is capable of pratipadaka, which is capable of giving out a ramaniya artha, a beautiful meaning. If there is no beautiful meaning at all, then I can't even consider it as a kavyam. It needs a lot of guts to say that. For Mahakavi's kavyam also is not at all a kavyam iti. So, Ramaniyartha Pratipadaka Shabdata Rupa Kavya. Kavyasya Rupam Kim Ramaniyartha Pratipadaka Shabdata. It should be of the form of a word which is capable of giving out a beautiful meaning. So, Ramaniya Artha Pratipadakaha Shabdaha Yatra Vidyate Tattvam Rupam Kavyasya. 1 minute. That sort of a rupam is the kavyam. Now, tadrisha kavya samanya lakshanena anakrantataya. These type of ekakshara or padyardha vritti, padmabandha, etc. are completely, do not come within the range of my definition of kavyam. Anakrantataya vastutaha kavyatva abhavena. It does not have kavyatvam at all. Mahakavibihi prachina paramparam anurundhanaihi tatra tatra kavyeshu nibaddhamapi. No. Mahakavayahate. They are all great poets. Paramparam anusritya eva tatra tatra kavyeshu nibadhranti. So they are all writing these shlokas tatra tatra, not continuously. It is not an ekakshara kavyam iti nasti. Ekakshara padyam ekasmin kavye. So which means this will probably be 1% or 10% of the entire kavyam. So tatra tatra eva kavyeshu nibaddham. Kimartham? Prachina paramparam anurundhanaihi mahakavya. So they are following anurundhanaha. They are being bound by the prachina parampara, their tradition, and hence they have given these shlokas here and there. Na asmabihi ganitam. I do not consider it at all. Vastusthitehe eva anurodhyatvat. Vastusthiti atratu, I have to only follow what is the truth, you know. Vastusthiti na ivar enna solrar? He gives one big explanation here. I don't know what he uses here. Sometimes this vyakhya vastu tattva vivekena. They are not thinking about what is actual beauty, what is not beautiful. Ityadikam tu te na chintayanti. I am only looking at what is beautiful. I go by what is correct. That's all. I will not follow this because it is a tradition. Ityadi. So vastusthitehe eva anurodhyat ityukte vastu tattvam kim kavyasya lakshanam tu ramaniyartha pratipadakatvam eva kavyasya lakshanam bhavitum arhati. Tari etesham kavyanam etesham padyanam tu tatra prayaha parampara anurodhaha vartate parantu kavyatvam nasti ityeva vadati. Anyway. So next is Mammata Kavyam. That we'll go to that later. He has to refute Mammata's definitions and all that. So the Artha Chitram and Shabda Chitram, Mammata separates the Adhama Kavyam into two, saying it is Artha Chitram and Shabda Chitram. he refutes that division and says that you can't have such a division. So we'll go into that next class. Okay. Any doubts till now? Yeah.